Any thoughts? Y'all are quiet.
I mean, if you like get to know someone and you see them die in war, that might mess with you mentally. If you get your leg blown off, I mean, yeah, I mean, definitely could mess with you.
Yeah, it's called PTSD, right?
Yeah.
Post-traumatic stress disorder. Yeah, war affects us every day. We just don't know it. Okay, so he says, along with our tendency, this is a transition. He's moving you from one thought to another thought. Along with our tendency to form habits, we have something like an ever-rising threshold of expectations that plays out in many dimensions of our lives. Now he's going to give you a bunch of examples to consider that statement. After he gives you the examples that he wants you to consider, he takes you back to the definition of a superhero. Could somebody please read this that is in yellow?
The superheroes give us examples of good people who are able to use force when it's necessary, even sometimes taking violent actions, within limits to defeat and subdue otherwise unstoppable evil, but without letting that get out of hand or rebound in self-defeating ways on their own characters.
Thank you very much, Joey. So, superheroes have to be able to balance power. So we're back to the issue of power again. To balance power and morality. If they don't balance power and morality, they're not a superhero. Because they have to be able to fight evil without becoming evil. But in our society, we have so many more categories that we now discuss. We have the heroic, we have the villain, but we also have the vigilante and the anti-hero. Why do you think more categories have sprung up?
These things have become less black and white.
You are right. Good work. Yes. We're no longer defining things by polar opposites. Now we're allowing the continuum of opinion to give us different minutiae, different degrees of the heroic. So Green Arrow is sometimes considered a hero, but he's also sometimes considered a villain or a vigilante. He swings throughout the continuum of opinion regarding the heroic. Hulk, is he a hero, an anti-hero, a vigilante, or a villain?
Talking about like from Avengers,
Yeah.
the newest one, I would consider him a hero.
Why do you consider him a hero?
Well, he's like learning how to control his powers, and yeah, he only helps people.
All right.
He only goes into the Hulk if he has to.
True. He was trying to maintain his anger. So what about the people who are harmed by Hulk? What about the people who are in the buildings that he's smashing? All that collateral damage.
See, that's more like the first Hulk.
What is an anti-hero?
So let me provide you with that definition. Let me go over here, pull it up on Google. Alright, so an anti-hero is a central character in a story, movie, or drama who lacks conventional heroic attributes. So they're considered heroic, but they're not considered like big blue Boy Scout.
I feel like that's the whole.
I would agree with you. I do think he tends towards an anti-hero narrative. So, on Wikipedia, I don't normally refer people there, but you can go there and it will give you some examples of anti-heroes. And there is also usually Purdue comes up. It's not coming up. But yeah, I agree. I think Hulk is definitely anti-hero. I think he can be considered heroic if he didn't smash everything, right? But so many people get hurt in the process. Now that he's defined a hero, he's told you how to become a hero, and he's told you how to deal with fear, he now wants to discuss the example of a superhero. And he starts off talking about Lex Luthor and Superman and their tumultuous interactions with one another. After he discusses that, he brings in Seneca. So you get your next philosophy. No man of exalted gifts is pleased with anything low and inferior. A vision of great achievement calls out to him and lifts him up. Down below, in the middle of the page, choose for yourself a moral hero whose life, conversation, and expressive face all please you. Then picture him to yourself at all times as your protector and your ethical pattern. We all need someone whose example can regulate our characters. Choose some man of great character and keep him always in mind. Then live as if he were watching you and order all your actions as if he saw them. So, who do you think people today would view as a superhero that they would want to watch them to be their guide? Like, I'm going to look up to this person because I should try to live like this. Okay, so we have someone say Jesus. Who else?
Because of their actions or just because of who they are?
Both. So both how they act and who they are.
Parents.
Say again?
Parents.
Parents? Alright, I like that. Yeah, parents can be heroic to their children, for sure.
Famous athletes, to a certain extent.
Yeah, famous athletes are held to a much higher standard than the everyday citizen is. Why do you think that is?
Because there's less of them and there's more people, and there's less just athletes or
Yeah.
professional athletes.
Yeah, well, everybody wants somebody to look up to. So if we have these professional athletes who we think are embodying the good, then we want to be like them.
LeBron gets portrayed as Superman. It's like a-
Say again?
LeBron gets portrayed as Superman.
Yes, he does, for sure. So if we're supposed to choose somebody who is moral and somebody that we would want to watch over us, let's think about Superman. Does Superman still overflow with this concept of he's good, he's always going to choose moral, or has he changed? We have the Justice League, we have Dawn of Justice that have come out in the last few years. We have paper comics, Birthright. Is he still a Boy Scout? Or has he become an anti-hero?